Hi, I'm Laura Stewart, board member of Indian River Impact 100, and I'm here with Noe Chico, who's going to share with us how the $100,000 grant given to Literacy Services of Indian River County for their PEN program changed his life and the life of his family. So Noe, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited to be here. I'm glad that I can help in any way.
So share your story about what happened when you got involved with the PEN program.
Well, I've been, I would say, hunger for knowing and anything that would help me the development of my daughter. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and throughout my life, things have changed. Come from a family. My father passed away when I was 8, so my mom raised us, family of 10, and all of us still alive, and nobody's in jail, which is amazing. But even so, during the time that I was growing up, it was more of a um, kids growing themselves. My
Okay.
mom was once dad passed away, mom was working, and so we did our thing on our own. And I was basically getting my daughter involved with CCD at the St. Helens Catholic Church,
Okay.
and I was involved with development on myself. I went through a divorce. My daughter was 2 when me and my ex-wife we separated, and I lived a different life. I worked in the rest of my whole life, and it wasn't going with the family aspect of it. So most of the time, everything that related to my daughter, it was, Mom, you deal with it. I'll do the bills and stuff. So as time changed, I had to change, and I had to realize that I needed to find something better. So as the divorce went through, I realized that there was a lot of things I was missing, and so I started looking forward to seeing anything that would help me on the development of my daughter, from the baby aspect to financially aspect and everything. In reality, I quit the restaurant business, moved into the warehouse business, Monday through Friday, which was great for my daughter aspect of it. Yeah, I took a pay cut, but at that point it just seemed that's what I wanted to do. I needed to do because there was no point of all this money and have no kid in my life. So I changed, and I was willing to change. So I started getting involved with Felsman Elementary, where my daughter goes to, and there was a lot of concerns. My daughter was not up to date with the school aspect and so and so. And even in the SAP programs, they offer the PEN program, the bulletin. So I kind of, okay, I'll put it aside, maybe. Didn't really think much of it. So as I get involved with my daughter's first communion classes, one of the representatives from the PEN program came in there, and I said, okay, this is the second time I've seen this. It's time for me to do something about it. There's got to be a reason for me to hear about it. Didn't know, so I was curious. I started going through Miss Mary in the literacy program, who was involved with it, and they got me involved with it. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a joke, but as I started going through the classes, things clicked in. The instructor had her child was in the same age as my daughter, and the other colleague, the other parent that was there with us, had the same age with my daughter too. So everything seemed to be perfect for whatever reason. And there were some questions that started impacting me. In reality, I never thought about it. I never even gave it a question. And as I was going through the curriculum, one of the things that brought me like a wake-up call was, the self-esteem.
Okay.
And as I was in class, it was a big wave on me thinking, I never talked about it, but I was, and realized that living in high school as me, 18 years old, living in high school, I had no self-esteem. I was dependent on everybody else to help me be something, be somebody. And for me to ask that to my daughter, who is going through a change in life in general, and realizing that this is something I should have been asked, I should have been worked on, but it wasn't. And at this point, I questioned my daughter because there was a questions aspect of it.
Right.
And she gave me the most amazing answers I would never even think about.
Like what?
As she saw me going to classes, she would ask me, Dad, where are you going? And I said, I call her Mija in Spanish, my daughter. I said, Payne, I gotta go take classes because I have to be a better dad. So she turns around and says, "You're the best dad ever."
Oh my God.
So it kind of shook me up. And then in the self-esteem aspect, it just everything seemed so helpful. Because even in the process of it, I learned that the words that they were telling me, the aspects of it, was so impact on my way of thinking. My daughter, she sometimes can be mischievous and like all kids, curious and stuff. And with the change of my life, with having her be with me as a single parent at this point, she is struggling in her own school aspect. But spending that 5-10 minutes with her after school, the continuous activities, and then for me to even punish her when she did something wrong, it wasn't more of the guidelines that they gave us in the pen program on you just gotta be this kind of dad or you gotta be this kind of dad. And I use it all, and even to this day. I was talking to her and I telling her, "Mija, you know I'm your dad and I can't be your friend. I have to be responsible and you have to know that this is because for your own good. And being a friend is not gonna help anything in any aspect." And so I even with the restrictions and the guidance, I use that, I believe in you. And she gives me that look and she tells me, "Dad, do you believe in me?" And I feel so warm to know that I am doing something different that I wasn't said to me. As I grew up, I never heard that. I never heard it in my life. And I know that I am already, they say that it's a continuous pattern on a parent.
Right.
You repeat what your parents did to you. And I already broke that. I already beat my dad passing away when I was 8. She's 8, so I'm ahead of that game. And for me to start teaching her about self-esteem and realizing where she's at personally and mentally, I already beat that. And the mistakes that my mom did, I understand now. I'm not upset at that point. I know my mom had to do what she needed to do. But I am not allowing my daughter to be left out into this reckless world. It's from one thing to another. It's scary. And for me to teach her that I believe in her and have her confidence where she can do something and be better in society, it's just something I feel comfortable. And throughout life in general, even if I gave everything I have, I gave my career for her. I gave up all my time. I gave everything. At the end of the run, if she turns out to be whoever she wants to be, if she quits school, whatever, I know I gave it the best I could. And I did my job. And if it wasn't for the tools that programs like the PEN program, I would have never even thought about asking her. Before, it was just constantly saying, "Hey, Payne, you're going to graduate high school." Now it's, "You're going to graduate at university." And it's such a different, for me to realize that even this young, she's capable of doing it. She is going to do it. And to know that there's programs like the PEN program, Parents Engaged Now, the literacy program in Indian River County, and without me having to pay a dime, it's been amazing to know there's people out there that care. And I did bring that up into my instructor. I said, everything's just so negative. Even to this day, the whole aspect of racism and difference between white and black and all these aspects of it. I'm able to talk to my kid. She's blue eyes, blonde hair, white skin, just like her mom. And I'm Spanish, I'm Mexican. I can tell her, and she knows it, that it's not the skin color, it's the heart and what we do. Yeah. And those are the things in chats that I have with her that I couldn't have before, because I never thought I could ask her that serious questions. And she's able to answer that, and with a big smile. And realizing that it's all for the good, and programs like this, coming here and doing an interview, I'm glad to. I know that if I can change one person at a time, just like the instructor said, and she's gonna change the way she grows up later in the future, and so on. So
when I hear your story, I mean, there were a couple times there I was teared up. I never thought that when we funded the program that it was going to have as large an impact on the parent as it's having on the child. So to hear that is truly amazing. I mean, I've only met you as this man. I don't know who you were before the Penn program, and you're an amazing man. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And you've got an amazingly lucky daughter to have you as a dad.
thank you. Thank you for having me, and like I said, thank everybody that funded this program, because even if it's 100, 200 people that go through, I came out and I know that it did a good thing for me. And I am constantly now in contact with the literacy program, and I want to do more, because I know that I was curious, and I'm not the only one out there. The parents, they blame everybody else of the problems, but then in fact it's not the school's responsibility to teach your kids how to be better. It starts at home, and school is basically, it's just 180-hour babysitting, because it's a fact the rest of the year is with the home, and I can make a change, and I want to help whatever way I can, even through my job, through you guys, and with everybody that can help. It's a difference, and I feel different the way I approach different things that are, okay, she's too small to understand that. No, she's not too small. At this point, she's 8 years old, has her own bank account. I'm teaching her about the banks, asking me questions. Before, I didn't have my first bank account until I was 17, because it was me, not somebody teaching me, my mom or my dad.
And you got all this from...
And this all started burning up and creating me, okay, I need to do more than just sit at home, read a book, and go play your games. I need her to beat me, be better, because I want to go back to school myself, but I can't focus on getting better unless I know she's 100% ahead of me.
Well, now we have to figure out another grant that we can all do to get people like you back to school.
But thank you so much, and thank every single person from the bottom of my heart. You guys did make an impact on my life, and everybody around me knows it. And even my brothers and sisters, I mention it to them, but I can't, like everything else, I can't force people to do something. There has to be that fire, and then the desire to, hey, I wanna, what is going on? What is that? And that's what brought me. Wait a minute, what is this? I don't. And sure enough, I'm glad.
Oh, it's a true honor to be here with you today.
Thank you.